Nityananda Paramashivoham Om 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 Nityananda
Nityanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gagana Sadusham Tattvamasya Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Trigunahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Yes, Nityanandam, and we hope that you are all charged up after 2 days amazing darshan with Swamiji. And please get ready and gather back. Make sure to be seated in front of the screen and ready to start the power manifestation, as we are going to enter into another round of the power of materialization. So please come back and sit and get ready to start the materialization. Yes, so let's all get ready to manifest the power of materialization. Yes, so before we enter into the materialization round, let's take a quick look at the Shastra Pramana, the scriptural evidence for this power, which comes directly from Spanda Karika, which is a part of the Shivagamas. So this shloka is taken from the section 3 of Spanda Karika, Vibhuti Spanda, Sutra 4th and 5th. And the verse goes as Yatha hyartho sputo drishtaha savadhanepi chetasi bhuyah sputataro bhati swabalo dyoga bhavitaha tatha yat paramarthena yena yatra tatha sthitam tat tatha balamakramya nachirat sampravartate. And the translation for this goes as, indeed, just as an object which, in spite of all the attentiveness of the mind, is perceived and seen indistinctively at first, then appears and manifests more distinctly and clearly when observed with the strength of one's visual power.
So this is the verse which directly deals with the power of materialization, giving the context, giving the powerful cognition, how we are manifesting, how the power manifestation actually takes place. Yes. So let's prepare ourselves for manifesting this power of materialization now. As you all know, we would start the round with a powerful cognition from the Living Enlightenment book. So let's quickly grab our copy of the Living Enlightenment and receive the powerful cognition. Remember Swamiji in our inner space and open the book in a random page and read through whatever is being revealed in that page, and that would be the powerful cognition for us, which we would be holding for this round of power manifestation. So let's quickly receive the powerful cognition and make sure you turn on the video recording also meanwhile, so that you can record yourself while you're manifesting this power. Yes. Hopefully, you have all received the powerful cognition from the Living Enlightenment book. Let's now enter into the power manifestation round. So, in this round, you'll be materializing, you'll be manifesting the power of materializing gold flakes in your palms, in your hands. Okay, so it's all about tuning in and invoking that space of oneness with Swamiji. It is Swamiji ultimately who is going to manifest this. So drop all your self-doubt, self-hatred, self-denial, everything at his feet. Let's all connect with Swamiji intensely, chanting the Mahavakya, Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. You can sit in either Padmasana or Vajrasana with the head, neck and spine in a straight line. Now keep your hands in the Samana Mudra, like this, in front of you, on your lap. You can keep your eyes closed or open. We'll be playing the oneness capsule, so you can have a look. You can watch the oneness capsule while you are meditating on and invoking the space of oneness with Swamiji and connecting with him while you're chanting the Mahavakya. And while you're chanting, from that oneness space, create a strong declaration for the materialization to happen and hold that space intensely while and during the whole entire round of power manifestation. So let's all begin. We'll be playing the Mahavakya. We'll be playing the oneness capsule. You can watch the oneness capsule. And being in the space of restful awareness, connected with Swamiji, requesting him to manifest and materialize in your palms. So let's all begin.
Sadashiva, Nityananda Sadashiva,
Suradipam Namaskritya Shashanka Krutashekharam Kapalavalinam Devam Pranatosmi Sadashivam Pranatosmi Sadashivam
Sadashiva, Sadashiva, Nityananda Sadashiva, 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 Nityananda Sadashiva,
Kaleshwara Mahakalam Kalanjana Nivasinam Kalakrit Kalavettaram Pranatosmi Sadashivam Pranatosmi Sadashivam
Sadashiva, Sadashiva, Nityananda Sadashiva, 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 Nityananda Sadashiva,
Sarvakrit Sarvavettaram Sarvagnam Aparajitam Sarvabhutatma Bhutastham Pranatosmi Sadashivam Pranatosmi Sadashivam
Sadashiva, Sadashiva, Nityananda Sadashiva, 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 Nityananda Sadashiva,
Yosrujat Sarvabhutani Brahmandyascha Surasura Tamaham Lokakartaram Pranatosmi Sadashivam Pranatosmi Sadashivam
Sadashiva, Sadashiva, Nityananda Sadashiva, 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 Nityananda Sadashiva,
Varam Varenyam Varadam Varishtham Varavahanam Vanamaladharam Devam Pranatosmi Sadashivam Pranatosmi Sadashivam
Sadashiva, Sadashiva, Nityananda Sadashiva, 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 Nityananda Sadashiva,
Pritiyat Pritidataram Supriyam Priyadarshanam Umapatim Sadakantam Pranatosmi Sadashivam Pranatosmi Sadashivam
Sadashiva, Sadashiva, Nityananda Sadashiva, 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 Nityananda Sadashiva,
Dharma Dharmamayam Devam Sukha Dukkha Phalodayam Bandha Moksha Pranitaram Pranatosmi Sadashivam Pranatosmi Sadashivam
Sadashiva, Sadashiva, Nityananda Sadashiva, 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 Nityananda Sadashiva,
Mano Buddhirahankara Tanmatrendriya Gocharam Pradhana Purusheshanam Pranatosmi Sadashivam Pranatosmi Sadashivam
Sadashiva, Sadashiva, Nityananda Sadashiva, 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 Nityananda Sadashiva,
Yam Dhyayanti Mahatmano Munaya Samshritavrata Tammonkara Param Sukshmam Pranatosmi Sadashivam Pranatosmi Sadashivam
Sadashiva, Sadashiva, Nityananda Sadashiva, 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 Nityananda Sadashiva,
Sukshmam Sarvagatam Nityam Sarvavidyeshwareshwaram Sarvatatvashrayam Devam Pranatosmi Sadashivam Pranatosmi Sadashivam
Sadashiva, Sadashiva, Nityananda Sadashiva, 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 Nityananda Sadashiva,
Yes. Let's now relax. And now you can share your experience of the power manifestation now, what you experienced. And if you materialized gold flakes or some materialization happened, or even if you felt some sensations in your palm or some kind of a something activity, some energy changes when you are connecting with Swamiji, you can, that is also the start, the initiation, coming into practice and the power manifestation beginning to happen. So you can write about that experience as well, because sometimes it may not happen directly, it may happen step by step. Initially, you may have some sensations or you may feel some vibrations in your palm, and then step by step, slowly, then the next level, it will be materializing. Or for some people, it may directly also happen. It just depends on the space of oneness that you are manifesting and the level of completion that you have within. So the more and more you do the power manifestation, more and more you will have that completion space and oneness space from which the power will manifest. So in case you may not have manifested this power, so the solution is simple. Just keep on manifesting more and you will be able to materialize in due course of time. And for all those who were able to feel sensations or some vibrations, that's a good start. And for all those who were able to materialize, congratulations for the power manifestation. You can share your experiences on social media as well and enrich other people and inspire them also to join Paramashivoham Level 2. You can use the link paramashivoham.org for them to register for the Paramashivoham Level 2 program. So let's now move to the next segment in today's Paramashivoham Level 2 series of sessions on unclutching, learning and getting initiated into this powerful science of unclutching, the science of Nirvikalpa Samadhi. So in this segment, now we will be delving into the aspect of unclutching from depression. So this is the next segment which we will be now entering into. Let's come to the space of listening.
Yes. So now, as we learn today all the different dimensions of unclutching, we are going to be learning how to unclutch from depression and suffering. So to start with, let us go over a verse from the Bhagavad Gita, from the 6th chapter, verse number 23, which goes, Tam vidya dukkha samyoga viyogam yoga sammitam sanischayena yoktavyaha yogo nirvinna chetasa. The translation is, understand that the separation from being absorbed with suffering is termed as feeling connection. And this has to be practiced with conviction, with an insight that does not pull you down. Understand, do not deviate from your spiritual practice. So here this verse beautifully explains how when we are separated from the association with suffering, we experience the space of feeling connection. Now, in the first place, separating yourself from the suffering is what is sadhana, the spiritual practice. Then the separation happens only when you have the feeling connection towards something which never brings suffering to you. What we call in Sanskrit bhakti, or feeling connection, the devotion. And after that, the third, do not deviate from this bhakti, from the feeling connection, from the devotion. Otherwise, you will be pulled down. These three basic sacred secrets are revealed by Krishna in this verse. So to overcome all forms of suffering and depression, we holding on to the feeling connection with Swamiji, with the Master, and the sentiments of devotion. If we are blessed to experience that, this alone can lead us to the complete completion and to transcend all forms of suffering. Now, let the sadhana, the spiritual work, spiritual practice, not be a choice. Let the sadhana be a survival need. Do not break the regular spiritual practice of unclutching yourself from suffering. So, as always, whenever something is a practice, there will be days where we'll be doing it, there will be days where we will skip, and it will be like there's kind of something more in our life. It will be something optional. But in order to really achieve, to really overcome all our incompletions, transcend all our sufferings, the spiritual practice needs to become the only priority in our life. Now, one of the biggest mistake is to think that why unnecessarily sit and unclutch? If I just remember, Swamiji is there always in my heart. That is enough. I don't need to sit and practice. But actually, if you do not do sadhana, the spiritual practice, even your feeling connection with Swamiji, that bhakti, that devotion, will naturally be destroyed. It will fade over time. So we should never cheat ourselves. Whenever we are connected with Swamiji, the spiritual practice is a vital need. We need to sustain this growing feeling of devotion and this inspiration towards spirituality and manifesting more and more powerful cognitions. Otherwise, if we do not nurture it, if we do not feed it or fuel it, our mind, our old patterns and our old identity will take over it. So especially in the initial stages, like there's a fight between these both. And we need to actively engage into the spiritual practice in order to strengthen our feeling connection with Swamiji and this part of us who that is directed towards expansion and experiencing the higher truth. Now, it is only by the spiritual practice that the feeling connection is strengthened and you will be growing. It is only by the sadhana that this feeling connection is strengthened. So if you stop the habit of unclutching from the suffering without doing the regular practice, suddenly one day you will be completely disconnected and you will not be able to relate with the master at all. So it's very important to continuously pay attention to our inner space. We should never think that it's enough to just have Swamiji to be connected, and that is just going to take care of whatever happens inside us and in our lives. We have to involve, we have to micromanage our inner space, and we have to make sure that we create the right inner space and that we dissociate ourselves from all forms of suffering. This is our responsibility, and if we do not do it, then over time our connection with the master itself will fade and it will be lost. So even the strong remembrance does not put you into that joy of ecstasy or into enlightenment or into the feeling connection. So then when you say, I think I lost my spiritual strength and life, and you succumb. So here what we mean is again the same thing. You have to nurture this feeling connection, and you have to do the spiritual practice. Just remembering Swamiji is not enough, because over time it will fade away and we will lose it. It's only when we start applying everything that Swamiji teaches, we start aligning our lifestyle, aligning our life decisions, that we align ourselves towards how Swamiji wants us to live, and we give more and more space within us for Swamiji to manifest. Now, this is what Sri Krishna calls as Uddharet Atmanatmanam Natmanam Avasadayet. Your own self should be your friend. If not, your own self will be your own enemy. So there's nothing neutral. Either we are involved into growing and making ourselves and our lives better, or we will be our own enemy, and we will actually allow all the unconscious and negative patterns to take over and influence us in a negative way. There is no such thing as being stagnant. So you should continuously practice the presence of God, connecting with Swamiji, and practice unclutching from all the sufferings and from everything that pulls you down, in order to liberate yourself from all of these and create the right inner space for a new conscious life to happen. So it is unfortunate that many times we actually enjoy suffering. We nurture suffering inside us because we feel that it makes us feel that we are that so much is happening to us, and that wrong is being done to us, and we actually cherish such feelings. And then when we suffer, we can easily justify doing whatever we want, not being ferocious with ourselves, and so on.
Yes, and in fact, many times we like suffering and we cherish suffering deep inside, because that gives us a kind of a feeling that, you can always put the blame on somebody else. And sometimes just to not feel empty within us, and we are scared of that feeling of emptiness, which is actually our nature, but it's such an unknown which we have never really explored. So just to fill that void inside, we attract a lot of suffering. So it's a varied kind of a reasons why we even cherish and enjoy suffering. So we have to look inside deeply. Is there a part of us that actually enjoys suffering and then ferociously unclutch from that habit, from that pattern? And why do people like suffering? Just to say their inability. For example, suffering becomes a pattern and life is destroyed just by this habit of continuously cherishing the suffering, cherishing the depression. It just becomes a habit. It just becomes a part of the life. It's like without this also you feel like, empty because nothing is happening. That kind of a feeling happens within you many times, which is a perverted way of, living and not really practicing and not really sticking to the higher truths and the higher frequency of existing, which is existing with the feeling connection. And we were also discussing that it is imperative and it is absolutely mandatory and a survival need for all of us to continuously keep on practicing, to continuously do the spiritual practice of unclutching from the suffering. If we don't, we will be pulled down into the layers and layers of depression, which we already have, the suffering layers, which we already have, and they will grow and they will multiply. Because Swamiji said, we can never be really neutral. Either we will grow, either we will expand, or we will shrink in depression, right? So if we don't do the spiritual practice, if we don't do unclutching regularly, we will naturally sink more and more into our layers of depression. The layers of suffering will continue to grow. Either the suffering will grow or the feeling connection will grow. The choice is ours. And it is up to us to decide and pull ourselves again from that habit of being in depression, being in suffering, and connecting back with higher truths, unclutching from these layers of suffering within us, and to again establishing feeling connection with Swamiji. The choice is ours, and it is us who can really do it. As we just saw the verse from the Bhagavad Gita, Uttareda Atmana Atmanam Atmanam Avasadayet. You are your best friend and you are your worst enemy. How you pull yourself up again and again from the suffering, from the depression, and establish yourself again in that space of feeling connection. It is only up to us. We have the ability, we have the power, we have the initiation also from Swamiji directly to do it, to unclutch from whatever is pulling us down. Because if we don't, we will be pulled down again, and within no time, the layers of suffering will grow so much that suddenly we'll wake up to the truth one day that we don't even have the feeling connection which we did. And that will be the worst catastrophe. That is what makes Practicing unclutching regularly, daily, and most essential and important part of our lives. And to save us from complete destruction, self-destruction. So continuously practice the ability to unclutch from the sufferings. Let your practice from unclutching from the sufferings not stop. Let it not get disturbed. Let it not be broken. Let it not pull you down. The broken spiritual practice means you are allowing your patterns to pull you down. So without any break, continuously practicing unclutching. That's it. Meditate on this verse, one verse continuously for next 24 hours. The verse from the Bhagavad Gita, that yourself is your best friend and yourself is your worst enemy. So it's up to us to pull ourselves up from our suffering and our layers of depression, unclutch from them all, and again establishing ourselves in that space of joy and feeling connection. So meditate on this one concept. In fact, Gaudapada, a great master of Adi Shankara's parampara, maybe who is a contemporary of Tirumjnana Sambandha in that same lineage. In his Karika, in his volume of works, he beautifully describes a concept. Just as the ocean can be emptied with the help of the tip of the blade, which can hold just a drop, so also can the control of the mind be brought about by absence of depression. That's what this great master shares. That continuous practice, even little bit, but continuously, daily, you can achieve whatever you want. And same goes for this practice of unclutching from all your depression and suffering, with which that pure state of bliss and nirvikalpa samadhi can be achieved. And this great master, Gaudapada, he beautifully says, by the practice, anything is possible. You can even empty the ocean with a kusha grass, a small grass with the continuous effort for years. Same way, even if that can be possible, why not conquering the mind by the absence of depression? It is possible. Let's now watch a short clip where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism will take us into the deeper understanding of how to unclutch from our suffering, from our depression, and again regain that space of feeling connection and joy and bliss. Let's have a look.
Tam vidya dukkha samyoga viyogam yoga sangitam sanishchayena yoktavyaha yogo nirvinna chetasa.
Tam vidya dukkha samyoga viyogam yoga sanyitam sanischayena yoktavyaha yogaha anirvinna chetasa. The translation: understand that separation from being absorbed with suffering is termed as feeling connection, and this has to be practiced with a conviction, with an insight that does not pull you down. Understand? Do not deviate from your spiritual practice. Let me give you the sacred secrets Bhagavan Sri Krishna reveals from this verse. First, separating yourself from the suffering is sadhana. Second, the separation happens only when you have the feeling connection towards something which never brings suffering to you. What we call in Sanskrit bhakti, feeling connection. Third, do not deviate from that bhakti and feeling connection, otherwise you will be pulled down. These three basic secrets, sacred secrets, is revealed by Bhagavan in this verse. tam vidya dukkha samyogaha viyogam yoga sanchitam sanischayena yoktavyaha yogaha anirvinna chetasaha. Actually, this is the right message from Bhagavan for all the NSP participants, because today is the 4th day. The program will end. From tomorrow, whether you are going to meditate or not, who knows? Whether you are going to continue your spiritual practice or not, who knows? So this is the farewell message from Bhagavan. Let you not disconnect yourself from the sacred spiritual practices, sadhana. Let the sadhana not be the choice. Let sadhana be the survival need. Do not break the regular spiritual practice of unclutching yourself from suffering. Please understand. One of the biggest mistake many of the devotees do is they think, oh, why unnecessarily sit and unclutch? I'll just remember Swamiji and he's there all the time in my heart. But if you don't do sadhana, even your feeling connection with me, the bhakti towards me will naturally be destroyed. It is only by sadhana the feeling connection is strengthened and you grow. I tell you, if you stop the habit of unclutching from the suffering without doing the regular practice, then the layers and layers of the suffering increases. Suddenly one day you are completely disconnected and you are not able to relate with the master at all. Even the strong remembrance does not put you into the joy and ecstasy, does not put you into enlightenment, does not put you into that feeling connection. Then you say, I think I lost my spiritual strength and life, and you succumb. Succumbing to the injuries and dying is the right example I'll give for succumbing to the sufferings and falling into depression. I have seen hundreds of people, just because did not do the spiritual practice regularly, every day, lose the ability to unclutch from suffering and ability to retain the spiritual connection and succumb to the worldly patterns and destroy themselves. That is what Bhagavan calls Uttared Atmanatmanam Atmanam Avasadayet. Your own self should be the friend. If not, your own self will be your enemy. So continuously practice.
Yes. So now, as we have understood both the power and the importance of unclutching from depression and continuously realigning our inner space, not taking life for granted, not taking the master for granted, we are going to have meditation. Let's continue practicing and learning all the different dimensions of the unclutching meditation, what all we can unclutch from. And now in this next session, we are going to be unclutching from our body and from the idea of time, and finally from the very idea of I. from the identification that we have about ourselves. So we're going to be having a short meditation, and so please get ready. Make sure that you have what all you need. Please sit comfortably. And so to start with, the first phase that we are going to be doing for about 7 minutes, we're going to just sit and unclutch from your body. So what you're going to be doing, just witness all the happenings in your body and unclutch from them. So if you feel any pressure, any pain, maybe if you have been sitting for a long time, you might have some pain in the knees, for example, or in the back. So witness all these happenings and unclutch from them. Now, specifically, feel the pressure where you are in contact with the ground and unclutch from that. Feel the flow of air through your nose and lungs, unclutch from that as well. And relax very deeply, sit in a very relaxed, comfortable way, and feel the awareness in your limbs fade and continuously unclutch even from that experience as well. Constantly, continuously throughout these few minutes of meditation, continuously unclutch from all physical pains, because you need to understand that most of the physical pains that we have is something that we recreate, we continuously create. You can think about it in a logical way, like we are not born with pain in the body, and many times we have pain even though we don't hit ourselves. There's nothing that directly causes pain to us. So there has to be something that we do inside us continuously that brings those pains again and again, that recreates those pains. So that also happens from inside, from the thought currents, from the cognitions that we have. So by unclutching from the body, from all these pains, from all these experiences, we go deeper and deeper within ourselves into the root of all these, finally unclutching from that. And at some point you will reach a space where all these pains will suddenly disappear. You may have been struggling with pain in some regions of your body, sometimes for years, and this can be permanently can permanently disappear from your system once you catch the knack of unclutching from the root of these. Okay, so let us start. Please sit. You can close your eyes, sit comfortably, keep your head, neck, and spine in a straight line. Start unclutching from your body, witnessing all the happenings in your body, whatever you feel, whatever you experience in your body. Start unclutching from that, all the pains, discomfort, all the feelings. You have some restlessness, maybe you feel that you have been sitting for a long time today, unclutch from that. Unclutch from all the pains. Feel the pressure where you are in contact with the ground and unclutch from that. Unclutch from the flow of air, the feeling in your lungs. Continuously unclutch from every happening, every experience in your body, allowing any pains to just pass without getting clutched onto them.
Yes. Now relax. Next, we will be unclutching from the very idea, the very concept of time. Time is a concept which we all are continuously in touch with. And we have a deep uneasiness about it all the time. For example, we have a feeling we don't have enough time to do what we want to do, or sometimes we are just bogged down with this idea of day and night. It is a night time, we cannot do this, or whatever it is. And in this meditation, we are going to completely unclutch from the very idea of time itself, from the concept of time, because constantly we are stressed and running with the fear of not having enough time sitting in our head. So completely drop even the concept of time itself. It is an illusion. Because where is time? Swamiji also says, continuously just sun is rising and setting, moon is rising and setting. This thing is happening as a natural phenomenon. But where is time? Where is chronological time in all of that? It is something we have made up. And continuously we are stressed with this idea. So it is time now to completely unclutch from that idea. When you feel bored or tired of sitting, just unclutch. You might have this idea or feeling inside that you've been sitting for a long time, you're tired, you feel like doing something else or thinking about something else. The moment these ideas, these thoughts come up, just simply unclutch in that very moment, because these are just thoughts, these are just ideas. Or even when you're feeling bored or tired, simply unclutch. When you feel you have been sitting here for so long now, just unclutch. Any restlessness that is coming up in you, the feeling of having to be anywhere else or to do anything, just unclutch and drop it. Okay? So free your very consciousness from this idea of time. So this is what we're going to do. Just sit and breathe with deep, restful awareness. The moment any irritation, any anxiety, or any idea of tiredness or boredom comes, that you're sitting here for a long time, or you have to do this, so you should rush, any of these ideas, just simply drop them, unclutch from them, free your consciousness from all of this. Let's begin. Yes. You can all now relax. Now in this third round, we will be unclutching from the very idea of I. The idea of I that we carry, the identity, how we cognize ourselves, and with what we cognize ourselves, right? I and the mind. Everything is centered around that. Our whole experience of life itself is established on our very idea of I. So we will be unclutching from this very idea of I. This idea of I is the source of everything you experience, you perceive. The idea of I is not needed now. So don't try to hold on or to let go. Just witness and unclutch. Continuously return to that still, stable, infinite inner space. With every breath, sink deeper and deeper. Unclutch from that very idea of I and sink deeper and deeper into that vast, infinite inner space that you all carry, that is still and stable. And be intense with unwavering, restful awareness. So let's do this. Intensely unclutch from the very idea of I, and let yourself be established in that pure, infinite inner space of restful awareness. Let's begin.
Yes, you can open your eyes and come back. Now, after this full day of learning and practicing this technique of unclutching, all of us, I'm sure now, realize that there are certain things that we are able to unclutch from, and there are also certain things that are much deeper, right? Now, unclutching itself is literally the best strategy that we can have for life. Only in the early stage, unclutching is more like a meditation that we sit and practice. But once we catch that knack, unclutching becomes the best strategy that we can apply to face or to handle any situation. For example, if you can unclutch from any external happening, they will just not affect you. So let's say that, for example, you face a challenging situation at work, for example. Let's say that maybe you get some very harsh feedback, in front of the whole team. So this is something that is very hard to face, right? But if you master this one technique, you can face even that without feeling affected by that at all. And or let's say that, for example, in your family, a conflict is there, or let's say that people talk bad about you, and there's you're getting a bad name that is spread about you. If you can unclutch from that, you will not be affected by that. So unclutching is the best strategy that we can apply to face any situation and never to be affected even by the hardest of situations. Now, even this, how many other times we know about that? We know that we should unclutch. We know that we can. We know that we should hold a space of completion and all that. And how much ever we know about that, there are just certain things that are deeper, that it would probably take a lifetime of continuous completion, or that maybe we just can't face. It could be, for example, there have been cases. Some of us may have witnessed. Let's say that you saw how Swamiji gives this story of a man who witnessed a murder on the beach and who could never ever go back to the beach after that in his whole life, at least for 20 years, until he met Swamiji and the completion happened. So there are these kind of deeper patterns. For some of us, it may be the fear of talking in public and facing some kind of a humiliation. For some of us, it may be losing job and feeling powerless, that we cannot sustain our family. So all these deeper sufferings in these situations that we cannot unclutch from by ourselves. How do we face that? What do we do about that? This is where the direct energy, the direct blessings of Swamiji, of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, come into play. Because whenever we sit at Swamiji's feet, whenever we experience Swamiji's presence, we are raised to a higher frequency of life, and we just simply overcome our problem. We just simply forget and unclutch from our problems without any effort from our side. And our consciousness is awakened, and so many of those deeper problems that we cannot face by ourselves simply disappear by Swamiji's grace. So if any of you recognize yourself in any of these situations, if you know that there is something within you that you want to unclutch from, that you you know that you need a karma breakthrough for, and that how much ever of practice of sitting with yourself, completion, unclutching and all that you have done, but this is nothing much deeper that you're not able to immediately unclutch from. This is where Swamiji's presence is directly required. So for this, you have the opportunity of offering the Pratiksha Pada Puja and the Uttamottama Seva, which we are conducting every day. Both rituals happen daily. We are conducting them, and in both you will have the opportunity of surrendering yourself, offering your devotion, your gratitude to Swamiji, and receiving Swamiji's direct blessings. And through this, you will experience Swamiji's grace, Swamiji's frequency, Swamiji's energy, and you'll be receiving Swamiji's blessings. And this is the opportunity for you to overcome all of these deeper patterns just by Swamiji's grace. So we will be posting the link. If any one of you is interested, you can either directly register or let us know if you need any guidance, and we will be happy to assist you for that.
Yes. And just to add to that, these rituals, these kriyas, they are a powerful way which is given by Paramashiva himself, revealed by him in the Vedas and Agamas. One of the most powerful ways to connect with the higher intelligence, the higher source, and taking the help, taking the guidance in doing and strengthening our spiritual practice. Because of course, you can do it on your own. You have the will, you have the potential to do that unclutching practice regularly. But sometimes we may fail, we may falter on that. And sometimes we may not even want to spend so much of time and get the results quickly and get the help from that higher source, from the divine intelligence, from the higher planes, beings from the higher planes, gods and the goddesses, their blessings and what they will shower upon us, which will definitely accelerate the whole process, the spiritual growth, and give us a completely new breakthrough in our entire spiritual practice. If let's say for example unclutching, if we have been trying to unclutch for a long time with respect to a certain pattern, we are not able to do that. Either we can continue to do with will persistence, or we can offer one of these sevas, one of these rituals, which are powerful kriyas, scientific methods for us to achieve the spiritual growth that we are yearning for. So definitely you can go ahead and offer the seva, the Pada Puja or the Uttamottama Seva, and with Swamiji's direct blessings, you will definitely get a breakthrough, complete breakthrough in your personal spiritual path, spiritual growth, or even for any this worldly benefits that you wish to achieve. That definitely will happen. So you can go ahead and register for the sevas. And with this, we now move to and also the link is being shared with you on the Zoom and also on YouTube for all of you to offer the Pratyaksha Pada Puja or the Uttamottama Seva. You can choose whichever you want to offer. You can register using this same link. So now let's move to the next segment. This is going to be the last segment. in our series of sessions today on unclutching. And this is just going to be a guided meditation where Swamiji himself will be introducing the whole notion of unclutching and guiding us along the way on how to unclutch from everything, from our thoughts, from our feelings, emotions, whatever is rising, or the whole mental activity. And he will be guiding us along the way. So let's all enter into this meditation. Let's all sit with our head, neck, and spine in a straight line. Make sure there is no disturbance along the way. So you can make sure everything is settled. Give yourself some time for doing this meditation intensely. Yes, let's come to the space of listening. And we will be entering into this video where Swamiji will be first introducing and taking us into a deeper understanding of unclutching, and then guiding us, leading us into a powerful unclutching meditation. So let's begin.
Mahadeva is giving very powerful technique. Understand? You can practice this in your everyday life. This is a meditation technique. It's not a teaching. Please do not understand this as a teaching. If it is a teaching, then you will start practicing little by little. You will fix a goal. This is the goal of my renunciation. And from today I will practice little by little, little by little. No. If you take this as a teaching, you will mess up and miss. No. It's a technique. It is a technique to be done as it is. I have seen many people taking this kind of techniques as a teachings. Big difference between teaching and technique. Teaching means lifestyle. Technique means the experience which changes your lifestyle. Teaching is like a coat. You can just put on one more coat and brag about. Technique is your very being. It will change it. It will transform it. Here, he says, when some desire arises, consider it. Whenever a desire arises in you, just see. Don't judge as a right or wrong. See. Give that desire enough inner space. Once you see it, suddenly, before even your mind argues, unclutch. Don't allow any of your arguments. Don't allow mind coming out in the other door and saying, no, little bit. What will happen to this? What will happen to that? No. Don't even allow the mind to come up with some arguments. Understand? Shiva is speaking to a different kind of personalities and different kinds of people. The today's technique is for a true seeker who is serious about enlightenment. I have seen different kinds of seekers who are very happy only to talk about it, never to work for it. Who are little courageous to take one or two steps but not to go with it. Very few guys, courageous ones. I call them Dhira. Dhira means courage to travel, courage to live it, courage to leave everything else. Today, Mahadeva is talking. Mahadeva is giving techniques for that kind of intelligent, energetic, courageous people. He gives techniques for all kinds of people. First level, who are just interested in talking, but not doing about it. Second level, who are interested in talking and taking 1 or 2 steps, but not more than that. And the true seekers. He gives techniques for every level. But this is the technique for the people who are tired of being cunning. If you are tired of being lazy, if you have suffered enough with your dilemma, if you have suffered enough with your mind, then this is technique for you. If somebody is, people come and tell me, Swamiji, what you teach is really wonderful, amazing truth. But how to practice? I am not so mature to practice these great truths as it is. Then I tell them, suffer a little more and come back. The truth as it is, the truth as the truth just transforms, just makes you completely a different being. Whenever some desire arises in you, consider it, see it, witness it, understand it. Suddenly, before your mind is ready with arguments, unclutch from it. It's a very powerful technique. Very powerful technique. When you suddenly unclutch, a quantum jump will happen in you. If you are announcing step by step, you will never achieve the reality, enlightenment. No. You will never achieve the reality, enlightenment. No. Step by step, never growth happens. Enlightenment is either now or never. Complete yes or complete no. Never happens step by step. Never point by point. Never like a degree. No. Never like a gradual process. Powerful technique which you can use it every day. Even when you sit morning, if you feel the hunger or thirst, desire to drink water, food, just sit with the desire. Consider it. Don't say right or wrong. Just unclutch before your mind brings up any argument. You may ask, then I should not eat or what? That is secondary. When you are really hungry, when it goes beyond unclutching, you will simply eat. That is different. But this unclutching can surely reduce the number of times and the quantity which you eat. Any desire, whether it is about anger, desire to express your anger, or desire to express your lust, desire to express anything, or desire for some object, just sit, consider the desire, and suddenly, before even your mind is ready, unclutch from it. Unclutch from it. Shiva is giving so many wonderful methods for so many different kinds of beings. The today's technique is for powerful, intense, courageous seekers who are tired of their same way of living, who are really tired of dilemmas, who have suffered enough with their mind, who have lived enough, and who understand the cunningness of their mind. This technique is for them. This technique is for those courageous few living beings. Suddenly decide, when you consider a desire, suddenly decide that you will unclutch over. And do not allow the arguments, and just be with that unclutched space. See what happens to you. See what happens to you. Maybe now for a few minutes we can sit effortlessly and try how we are able to practice this, how we are able to internalize this. Understand, this technique is not even to be practiced every day. No. This is supposed to be practiced effortlessly, internalized effortlessly. Suddenly at one day, you will unclutch. From the very desire of holding on to this body, you will just unclutch. Now, close your eyes for a few minutes. I'll guide you how to consider the desires and how to suddenly unclutch from it before your mind brings any argument. Please close your eyes. Sit in a relaxed way. If some desires are arising in you, maybe desire to open your eyes or desire to move your body, any desire, just see that desire. Don't judge. There may be so many desires. Do not witness. Do not judge. Do not say right or wrong. Do not suppress. Just see. Don't say, don't think your desire is right or wrong. Just see it. Let your eyes be closed. Let them come. When desires arise, let them happen.
Let all the desires arise in you. Don't suppress them. Don't judge them. Don't say they are right or wrong. Just let them happen. Consider. Let them happen. Suddenly, before even your mind recognizes, unclutch from all the desire and relax. Do not argue. Do not logically decide. Do not decide based on right or wrong. Just unclutch from all the thoughts. Let your eyes be closed. Just unclutch from all the thoughts. anything comes up, just unclutch. Just disconnect. Don't judge. Don't say it is right. Don't say it is wrong. Just disconnect. Unclutch. relax. Slowly, very slowly, you can open your eyes. Try, whenever you are caught by strong emotions or strong desires, just sit with it. Don't judge. Don't say right or wrong. Consider it and suddenly unclutch from it without even allowing your logic to question, to come up. When you unclutch, you will see the truth in you. Next few days also we'll have every day evening programs. We will see the different meditation techniques and methods by Mahadeva, Shiva. This book is the ultimate book. Each day, new dimension, new techniques, new methods open up. So, try not to miss it. Let you all experience, achieve and radiate eternal bliss, Nithyananda. Thank you.
Yes. We hope that you all had a beautiful experience. It's a very nice session to have to close the day. And you can share your experience in the chat if you feel like. And otherwise, let's quickly get into a final round of materialization, as we are all now established in a very deep space of unclutching. Let's utilize this space, and with this experience of unclutching that we have, let us manifest powers. So we are going to have a final round of materialization. We are going to be materializing powders, be it basma, kumkum, turmeric, whatever powder, within our own palms. So you can sit and you can start. You can close your eyes, sit, make sure to have your head, neck and spine in a straight line, and connect with Swamiji in your inner space. Remember that the power manifestation always happens from the space of oneness. And so you do not have to be qualified to materialize. You only have to experience oneness with Swamiji, and Swamiji is qualified to manifest through you, and he will do so when you are in a space of oneness. So always put your focus on intensifying your experience of the space of oneness. Continuously chant the Mahavakya, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham, and make a strong intention that whatever powder, be it kumkum, basma, turmeric, some powder, whatever it is, will materialize within your hands. So keep your hands in the Samana Mudra and continuously chant the Mahavakya, connecting with Swamiji in your inner space. We'll be playing the oneness capsule. You can now start manifesting this final round of the materialization. Let's begin.
அண்டமாகி அறிவதற்கு அரியதான பொருளதாகி தொண்டர்களின் குருவுமாகி தூய்மையான தெய்வமாகி அண்டமாகி அறிவதற்கு அரியதான பொருளதாகி தொண்டர்களின் குருவுமாகி தூய்மையான தெய்வமாகி திசையெட்டும் போற்றுகின்ற என் ஐயன் ஈசனவன் திடமுடைய நித்யநந்தன் தினமும் என் சிரசை காக்க நித்ய சண்முகா நின்னை பற்றினோம் நித்யநந்த சண்முகா காக்க காக்கவே நித்ய சண்முகா நின்னை பற்றினோம் நித்யநந்த சண்முகா காக்க காக்கவே ஆதிசிவன் மைந்தனவன் ஆனந்தமாய் நெற்றி காக்க ஆறுமுக வேலவனோ இருநுதலை இசைந்து காக்க ஆதிசிவன் மைந்தனவன் ஆனந்தமாய் நெற்றி காக்க ஆறுமுக வேலவனோ இருநுதலை இசைந்து காக்க ஜோதியான தணிகை ஈசன் நித்யநந்தன் விழியை காக்க நாதனாம் நித்யநந்தன் நயமுடன் நாசி காக்க நித்ய சண்முகா நின்னை பற்றினோம் நித்யநந்த சண்முகா காக்க காக்கவே நித்ய சண்முகா நின்னை பற்றினோம் நித்யானந்த சண்முகா காக்க காக்கவே செவியிரண்டும் சிறப்புடனே சிவகாமி செல்வன் காக்க வாயை வேலவன் காக்க நாப்பல் முழுதும் நித்யன் காக்க செவியிரண்டும் சிறப்புடனே சிவகாமி செல்வன் காக்க வாயை வேலவன் காக்க நாப்பல் முழுதும் நித்யன் காக்க கருப்பை தன்னை கந்தன் நித்யன் கருணையுடன் காக்க பின்னர் பிடரி தன்னை பிரியமுடன் சிவ நித்யானந்தன் காக்க நித்ய சண்முகா நின்னை பற்றினோம் நித்யானந்த சண்முகா காக்கவே நித்ய சண்முகா நின்னை பற்றினோம் நித்யானந்த சண்முகா காக்கவே.
Yes, you can photograph it and you can share. You can share if you had any experiences, any feeling, any physical feelings, Kundalini awakening, or any manifestations. If not, don't worry. Actually, one day Swamiji shared that materialization, especially in the case of physical objects, it happens when we are complete with our root pattern. Okay. So the more we become complete, the more the easiest it is for us to experience the space of oneness and retain it long enough and powerfully enough for the materialization to happen. So don't worry if you have not yet been able to. The more you become complete, the more you will succeed in manifesting this power. Okay. And of course, the more we practice, then the more we become complete, and vice versa. Okay. So with this, we come to the end of today's session. We thank you for having been with us throughout the day, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow as we will be exploring the science of listening and how to connect with our inner space, reprogramming the software that runs our lives. And make sure to be there tomorrow morning for the yoga session. And now let's close. Let's sit straight with our head, neck, and spine in a straight line, remembering Swamiji in our inner space, creating a space of completion inside us. And let us chant the Purna Mantra. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Sarvam Bhagavat Sri Nityananda Paramashivam Level-2. Om
Nithyanandam.
Yes, thank you everyone, Nithyanandam.
Nithyanandam.